Didn't realize your boyfriend was staying for dinner.
Is that a problem?
Nope.
Spoiler alert! Though The Big Bang Theory has alluded to Dale and Meemaw's future, the Young Sheldon conclusion leaves their status undetermined. The first part of the season finale is dominated by George's passing and its aftermath, as the Cooper family struggles to come to terms with their father's untimely death. Though they may not have been blood relatives of Sheldon's father, Meemaw and Dale nevertheless felt a connection to the extended family, and each handled their loss in a different way. The family is fortunate to have the couple supporting them during the entire situation, with Mary being erratic and Georgie trying his hardest. Meemaw and Dale, however, have separate stories aside from their relationships with the core Cooper family. This is an example of how Young Sheldon is branching out its storytelling by providing each of its main characters with their own tale instead of only focusing on Sheldon. Although Connie's romantic life has always been a part of the backstory, she hasn't been in a committed relationship since her endearing but short-lived liaison with Dr. Sturgis. But Young Sheldon decided to stick with Dale through the end of the show after reigniting their romance. It does not, however, provide any insight into what is ahead of them.
Assuming you stay out of jail.
Welcome to Movie Spy. Meemaw discussed her marriage in her Big Bang Theory cameo. Connie might wed Dale subsequent to Young Sheldon. The Young Sheldon finale's final half-hour is so focused on Sheldon's move to California that it is unable to properly send off the other characters due to screen time constraints. Not even the final goodbye to his family is depicted on TV for the child prodigy. The final detail concerning Meemaw and Dale that was disclosed was that they are still living together, and there is no sign that this will change very soon. Nevertheless, when Meemaw paid Sheldon a visit in Pasadena for the first and last time, The Big Bang Theory hinted at what might come next for the marriage. During her chat with Amy, June Squibb's Meemaw mentioned that she knew how to live with a stubborn, egotistical man. Then you're wrong, because that was my husband. This suggests that Connie and Dale will marry after Young Sheldon. Considering that Meemaw was once married, it wouldn't seem possible for her to mention Sheldon's father by name if she were speaking of him. Since they are legally connected, getting married would also make her and Dale's lives easier. Either way, they already share a home, and Meemaw eventually admits her affection for him. Can Dale and Meemaw come back after Young Sheldon? Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will continue the Young Sheldon timeline. Annie Potts has been outspoken in her condemnation of Young Sheldon's decision to cancel. It's important to remember that the franchise won't completely disappear with the conclusion of the prequel, though, since Georgie and Mandy's spin-off, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, will take its place starting with the 2024-2025 television season. Meemaw and Dale are in the best position to at least make a guest appearance, but no other members of the Young Sheldon core ensemble have been confirmed to be involved aside from its primary characters. When the couple first found out they were unexpectedly expecting, both were of great assistance, not to mention that baby Cece is named after Georgie's maternal grandmother. Meemaw even welcomed Mandy into her home after her parents kicked her out. Given that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will also take place in Medford and take place only a few months after the events of Young Sheldon, it would be strange to ignore that. Where was Dale when The Big Bang Theory happened? Among the many Young Sheldon characters disregarded by The Big Bang Theory is Dale. Meemaw never made a physical appearance in The Big Bang Theory until much later in the show's run, even though she was a well-known character in the universe from the start. She made the independent decision to visit Sheldon in Pasadena, asking Moonpie and Amy to pick her up at the airport. To add to the intrigue of Connie's Young Sheldon part, she made no mention of Mary or Sheldon's other siblings. But given where the prequel left her, it's also unclear right now where Dale was when The Big Bang Theory happened. One of the many Young Sheldon characters that The Big Bang Theory never specifically mentions is Dale. He now hangs out with people like Dr. Sturgis and Paige Swanson. Granted, Sheldon never really had a personal relationship with Dale other than as his Meemaw's boyfriend, so it makes sense if he never spoke about him. Nevertheless, it's possible that Connie's remarks in The Big Bang Theory slightly disclosed what transpired. It's probable that Dale had passed away by the time Meemaw traveled to California because she spoke about her spouse in the past tense. Dale was born somewhere between the late 1910s and the early 1920s. This would put him in his 90s during the last seasons of The Big Bang Theory and about 100 years old in the present. It's quite conceivable that old age was his only cause of death. Dale was in the best possible health during the events of Young Sheldon, in contrast to George, who suffered from several health problems. If he continued for a few more years after Young Sheldon concluded, it wouldn't be shocking. Meemaw deserves a dignified farewell following Young Sheldon. The universe of Big Bang Theory must display Meemaw's final post-Young Sheldon destiny with Dale. Although Meemaw only had one appearance in The Big Bang Theory, Potts' portrayal of her in Young Sheldon elevated her to the status of one of the universe's most adored characters. Although her appearance in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is still possible, Her little screen time return shouldn't be solely for the benefit of the follow-up series. Rather, the authors should take advantage of this chance to fully develop the character. That will either set her on a more hopeful course by providing her and Dale with a clear post-Young Sheldon destiny or open the door for her return in the next spin-off. Connie should at least be led down a happy road by the Young Sheldon timeline, as Chuck Lorre and his team are powerless to alter the events depicted in The Big Bang Theory. In addition to her personal struggles after a string of misfortunes that began in the Young Sheldon Season 6 finale, the character served as the Cooper's emotional pillar after George's passing. In any event, given how outspoken Potts is about her love for the character, getting her to take on the part again shouldn't be too tough.